Hi everybody, I'm Hub Arkush for Pro Football Weekly, and every week here at PFW we go one-on-one with a hot question going around the NFL. I welcome in our two master debaters. I am joined each week for this segment by, on my right to your left, Associate Editor Dan Parr, on my other side, Associate Editor Arthur Arkush. And the question of interest this week: who will end up leading the NFL in quarterback sacks? Will it be the pride of the University of Missouri and the San Francisco 49ers, Aldon Smith, or Johnny Football's favorite Texas A&M alum, Von Miller? Now, Arthur here is a Missouri alum, so I thought for sure you'd go Smith, but I guess you're not, huh?
I'm not. I'm going to go with Von Miller, who, of course, after Smith's dominant performance, is trailing by a few sacks heading into Week 12. But I just look at the remaining schedule, and what I see favors the Broncos in a major way. 49ers have 4 remaining road games, 3 of them coming against Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Russell Wilson. Now, Brady and Brees, obviously 2 of the toughest to sack in the league, and Russell Wilson, while a rookie, has some elusiveness, and of course they want to run the football first and foremost. So I think this is the first thing you have to look at when going at this debate, and I just think the schedule greatly favors the Broncos and Von Miller's chances to get back in this race.
Well, and Dan, that leaves you with Smith. Now, the good news is Von Miller doesn't get to play the Bears, but the bad news is Smith is done with them now too. Why do you think he'll do better going forward?
Well, aside from the obvious fact that he does have the 2-sack lead already, he's got something waiting for him on a golden platter. It's not the Bears, it's the Cardinals in Week 17, who have given up more sacks than anybody else, 44. The number of sacks the teams that have allowed that are on the schedule remaining for the 49ers and the Broncos. The 49ers, it's 5 sacks more than what the Broncos have to go up against. So that number is skewed, obviously, by the Cardinals being on the schedule. I think if it's close at all by that point, and I think it will be, I think Smith pulls ahead at the very last minute.
Now, it's interesting, guys, and Arthur, I'll come back to you first. Neither one of these kids a prototypical 4-3 defensive end or prototypical 3-4 outside rush backer. They're both hybrids of a sort, but Miller is really more of a linebacker rushing the passer.
Yeah, I think if you're going to talk about the complete package here, Von Miller is probably going to get the edge. His ability to just do so many more things than Aldon Smith, who's actually made great strides and has become a full-time player this season. So he's also definitely doing quite well. You'd take either one of these guys. But this is an argument about sacks first and foremost, and I think both of these guys have an array of moves and a way of a number of ways they can get home, and I see Von Miller, closing down the stretch in finer form.
Now, both of these guys may be tweeners in their respective defenses, but Aldon Smith a little closer to the position he's playing in terms of body type and really ability to use all the moves, including the bull rush and the power, something that Von Miller lacks a little bit.
And I think he's a little quicker, a little bit more speed than you see from Von Miller. I saw some moves Monday night against the Bears that I haven't seen many other players make, even against the offensive line as bad as the Bears has been. Gabe Kareem's a first-round pick. He looked like he didn't belong on the field with Aldon Smith on Monday night. I think his production in the past 3 games has really spiked up. You could say the same thing for Von Miller. I think he's getting hot at the right time, and like I keep coming back to, you have to look at the schedule, and with the Cardinals there at the end of the year, he could have another 5-6 sack game. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Now, Arthur, when I say Miller lacks a little bit of bull rush and power, not for his size, he's got great power, but he's just not quite as big a football player as Aldon Smith is, doesn't get some of the mismatches that Smith's going to get.
No, you're right about that, but obviously it hasn't slowed him down too much to this point. I think that Miller's complete game kind of speaks for itself at this point. So another slight edge perhaps for Denver is that I think Peyton Manning is on top of his game right now. Perhaps they're going to have a few more leads. I realize how good that 49ers defense is, particularly not allowing points, but I just think Peyton Manning is getting out to lead so early, putting his team in such a good situation. You got Elvis Dumerville on the other side. You have to be able to pick your poison here, and I think that may give Miller a slight edge in this debate as well.
All right, guys, great job as always. A word of caution for both, and I'm only doing this because we're having fun after the Bear 49ers debate. Keep in mind, Jared Allen still gets the Bears twice, and Clay Matthews could get healthy for his meeting with him too. There are other teams that struggle to protect the passer. That'll do it for this week's edition of One-on-One. For all the best in news, notes, analysis, or just to have a little fun like we do in this segment, stay at ProFootballWeekly.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.